Hey everybody, my name is Vincent Van Ho. I'm the community leads here at Dark Times, and today I'm bringing you episode 3, Movement and Locomotion. And today I have Miles, our lead game dev director, exploring the designs in movement and locomotion in Dark Times. What can my character do in the game?
Yeah, so we did a lot of work on the character controller and the movement system for Dark Times. Initially, we built a prototype in about 3 months, and we spent that first month just trying to get that locomotion right, moving around the space in an isometric camera angle view. These are things that we had to kind of prototype and make sure that there was enough space. If you throw in 12 players into a map, is it too cramped? 12 people in a space can be chaotic, especially if you have fire, ice, a bunch of weapons, picking up and throwing things at execution points. There's a lot of different things that go into the map. And so being able to traverse it in a way that felt immersive, didn't break you out of things, didn't get in your way, right? Throwing and then having a tree in the way doesn't feel good. And so we did a lot of work to make it feel fluid. We have moving in all directions. We have rotating as well on the right stick. We allow you to dodge. So you're able to, if someone is swinging at you, you can dodge out of the way. It allows you to kind of also use it as a mini hop. So you're able to clear little gaps if you needed to. So we really thought about the different ways players would want to move around, but not overly complicate all the mechanics. We talked about complexity and depth. And each time you add one of these mechanics, block, parry, moving around, dodge, these things just increase the complexity of the game. And so we didn't want to do that and still keep it streamlined. And so thinking about ways that a single mechanic like dodge could be used, in multiple ways, like in combat to maneuver around attacks, or for platforming. You could hop over gaps and things and get to other areas. And so, yeah, we did a lot of work with the locomotion to make sure that it could work in the different ways that players wanted to use it. We even, I think, had in one stage, we just had to take it out because we didn't account for it. But we even had at one stage, when you throw anything in the game, a weapon that has a sharp edge, like a sword or a spear, it can pierce, we talked about impaling, it can pierce a wall. And we did have jump in the game initially, and you could actually jump onto the spear. And if you were able to, do this thing, you could create like stairs and jump and climb that way. And it was just too much. For competitive players, it was cool, but it was very finicky because it's an isometric camera, can't really aim vertically. So you had to kind of climb up a ledge or go upstairs further back so you could get to the next kind of verticality, throw it, and then hopefully it lands, and then make your way down and climb up everything. So yeah, bit weird, but we even went to that extent, right, to see how far we could push it. And so I think I think people are going to really like it, and they're going to be able to explore it and do the things that they're thinking about wanting to do.
Were there any challenges when you were designing these fluid, weighty motions for characters?
Yeah, and so not initially when we're doing the prototype, we had an idea and we was doing all these things. But when you move over to a network and you're building a network game, you have to send a lot of this stuff over the internet, and you essentially do a bunch of actions, or let's just say do an action. It gets sent over to the server, it holds it there, and then once it's received it can then send it and partition it down to everyone else, right? So if I was to cut a tree down, everyone needs to see that tree get cut down. But it's first going to do the action, the tree is going to get cut and then fall. And we need to send everything that we want the others to actually see. Let's say we only want them to see falling down. Then at the point at which it falls, we have to send that, wait for that. Once it's there, then we've got to send it through to every single player in that map so they see that as well. And that's cutting a tree down. We've got fire, ice, moving around, throwing. We have sinking because you're throwing, so you need to grab someone. They need to see you've grabbed them, right? So all of that needs to be over a network, and something that we've been spending a lot of time on. I'm just trying to make sure the latency is low as possible, the responsiveness is there, and that there shouldn't be any slowdowns in the experience. Yeah, it's been a task for us, but we're getting there, and we're now slowly layering over existing mechanics from basically the local version over to a network environment, and those mechanics are coming through. The process is to make sure that as each one comes through, we've added blocking. Okay, is that responsive? Is it laggy? How can we remove the lag? Doing everything we can on a per mechanic kind of basis. So is it too much? Is it going to take too long to get things out? Possibly, but we want to make sure the game is as good as possible when we give it to you guys so that we can get the best feedback possible and make sure that we make the right improvements to the game. So we want to make sure we're taking all the precautions to make sure we deliver something that people are going to be happy with.
Speaking on environmental factors, how do environmental interactions add to the gameplay?
Yeah, so I talked about the ice and the fire and the chaos that they could ensue in on the maps. And so when we were designing Fire and Ice, we really looked at it as a chemistry system, not just here's fire, what can it do? Okay, it can burn some houses down, maybe these couple of things. And it's more of a mechanic. This is more of a rule set, and it's more of something that you can use in the ways that fire could be used, right? And a lot of the times with chemistry comes materials, and different elements might impact materials in different ways. And so we have a material system that supports the chemistry. Things like wood, anything made out of wood, fire will be able to impact, and impact it in a way that you would expect fire to impact it, right? It can spread. If you have trees lined up, it can spread from one tree to the next, cause a massive bushfire. It needs to happen. And the same goes for something like ice. If you see water, if you see a river, you'll be able to freeze parts of that river. So maybe creating a bridge, then you can now cross that river. And we wanted to make sure that players still had agency, so it's not freeze the river and the whole river freezes. It's going to be how you use your magic, where you're aiming that spell is going to just freeze that area. You're going to be able to be a bit more calculating in what you freeze. And if there's someone there, maybe you want to just freeze that section, right? And freeze them right in there, right in the spot in the river. So we're really trying to make sure that these environmental interactions, not only can you engage with them just by picking up stuff, throwing it around, the physics, but we wanted to make sure the elements also felt like they belonged in the environment, they belonged in the world, and so they will also have an impact on the environment. And the player, especially in the tournament setting, the Blood Queen is tricky, but she's going to force you to use all of these things at your disposal in order to overcome the tournament and come out victorious.